Girls, let's talk about it. Did you hear that talking about it? Oh my God, did you know this? What? Oh my God.
Oh my God, Shani Lava Nicole. Shani Lava Nicole on the roll. Lighting up the stream, the vibe is full. Shani Lava Nicole, let's go. Kicking down doors, we make some noise. Grown folks talk with truth and voice. Doing it big, turning up the flow. Shani Lava Nicole, you know. Oh yeah, it's Shani Lava Nicole. Oh yeah, it's Shani Lava Nicole. Everywhere, it's Shani Lava Nicole. Oh yeah, grown talk vibes, the moment is here.
Thank you for tuning in.
Forgiveness does not change the person that hurt you. Are you listening to me? Forgiveness doesn't change that person. Forgiveness changes you. Guess what forgiveness does not do? Forgiveness does not mean you forget. One of the most crazy theories is that you forgive and forget. You don't forget, but you do have the opportunity to forgive every time you remember. There's some things in my life and there's some people in my life that every time I remember, I have to forgive them again. Forgiveness is not a one-time fix-all. Forgiveness is a daily sacrifice that I have to implement so that I can receive what it is that God has for me. If I don't put into practice forgiveness for those that have hurt me and those that have impacted me in a negative way, then I hold myself hostage to a prison that God never intended for me to stay put in.
You being a forgiving person does not mean you're a forgetting person, right? You can forgive and not forget. Forgiveness is literally giving someone the grace to not hold them to what they've done. It doesn't mean we don't feel it, nor does it mean we put ourselves in a position to allow ourselves to be hurt in the same way again. Forgiveness simply means I do not hold this against you. I will not look at you through the lens of your infraction. I forgive you. Now, if you kicked me in the ribs, do my ribs still hurt? Yes. When I wake up in the morning and I stretch and I'm like, is that going to make me remember who kicked me in my ribs? Absolutely. Did I forgive them? Yes, I did. But that doesn't mean this pain doesn't still reside. We got people, they talk about forgiveness. Forgiveness is not forgetfulness.
Let's talk forgiveness. I have so many people that come to me about this topic alone, and I practice it in real time. Let me highlight first that if it is something traumatic that you have gone through, you have to process and grieve that trauma because forgiveness requires a level of healing to be able to do so. I wish I could tell you that a snap of the finger, you can forgive somebody in 1 second, but you got to process it. You got to process what has happened. Now, what forgiveness is not is you excusing what happened, you condoning any of the behavior, you denying that it ever happened to you, you're forgetting that it happened, or that you're reconciling with that unsafe person. Forgiveness is about releasing the hold that the offense has over you. Spiritually, mentally, emotionally. Recognize what happened to you was wrong. You have every right to feel how you feel. If you're angry, you have every right to be angry. If you feel betrayed, you have every right to feel betrayed. If you feel hurt, you have every right to feel hurt. And that's one of those starting points. You got to be honest with how you feel and validate your feelings and the experience that you have. The word says the Lord is close to those who are brokenhearted. You can get through it. When you let go of that resentment and that anger or that desire for revenge, a lot of peace starts to show up in your life. And when we get caught in these situations where we feel offended or betrayed or hurt, anything like that, where the perpetrator, the offender did something wrong to us, a lot of times it's hard for us to actually forgive because we're still looking for justice. We're still looking to even the playing field. We're still feeling like this is not fair. They done moved on. They done went on with their life. They're still good. This isn't fair. And so we put conditions on our forgiveness, or we're looking for some type of compensation. We make it transactional. And you know it because it sounds like, I can forgive you if you. I would forgive you, but there's that condition. And what is a condition? That's what you have to ask yourself. When we're hurt, we can't really see the humanity in people. And so because we can't see it, it's hard for us to extend any level of compassion, mercy, grace, empathy to the human side of that person. You hurt me. I can't think about the fact that maybe you had some internal struggles going on. I can't think of the fact that maybe you had your own traumas that you were dealing with. I can't think of the fact that maybe you were responding or doing something to me because you were hurt in your life and you were angry. I can't see the humanity in you when I'm realizing that you did me wrong. Yeah, but you have to start practicing it. You have to start practicing it. That's the way that you really truly forgive, is when I say, you know what? Maybe there was some internal struggles that this person had. Maybe there was some things that this person was really going through. Now, my personal practice is entrusting the offender to God. So when I'm looking for justice from somebody who did me wrong, I acknowledge the fact that the ultimate justice belongs to God. The word says, do not take revenge, but leave room for God's wrath. It's written, God will repay. God will avenge. Even if it doesn't look like the revenge that you planned out in your head. Even if you look like, well, why is their life still good? You don't know what people got going on internally. You don't know what people have going on behind closed doors. Some people know how to put up a front and make it seem like it's good, and you have no idea what's really happening. But know that that is God. Release it. Let me add, forgiveness is a journey. It's not a single event. It takes some time, baby. It's okay if you don't feel ready right away. Take small steps. Pray that God softens your heart. Oh yeah, to add, forgiveness does not mean that the pain is going to go away. That's going to take you some time. There is no part of healing that's immediate. Boom. It's just not. And although holding on to that anger and resentment feels justified, it also can keep you emotionally and spiritually tied to that person who has offended you. Child, if God only forgave us based on if we met those conditions, Lord. Go pray, baby. Let God heal you. Psalm 147:3.
Hey, girlfriend.
Hey, girlfriend, how you doing today? Happy Hump Day.
Hump day. She said a mouthful.
She did.
She had me thinking about it. I had to think about that one.
I
That
had
one
to think
was
about it
big.
too.
Hey everyone. Thank you for tuning in to Unfiltered at 5 with Shelly Live and Leah Nicole.
Yes.
Today we're talking about healing doesn't mean reconnecting.
Yes. Welcome everyone.
Why forgiveness doesn't always include access. Here's the bigger picture. That last lady said a lot. The first guy said a lot, but the last lady said a lot.
This lady, yeah, she goes deep. I watch her stuff all the time. I can listen to her all day, preach all day long. I think she's a therapist.
Yeah.
And her name is Kitty and everything. So when she preach and when she gives it to you, she gives it to you.
She gives it to you.
And she goes deep. She goes deep. She can even get a little biblical on you when it comes to things.
She does. She speaks volume. And the guy that came on first, when I'm scouting these things to read and to look at, I put the topic in and I type it out and I say, okay, I need to find this in the chats, how we do it. But that one was a little bit a lot, because I always ask myself those same questions that she asked, that she just literally just said on that. It got me tied up in words. I can't even get the words. So tied up with it. We're going to dive right into that. Like the topic, why forgiveness doesn't always include access. When people hurt you and things hurt you and behaviors hurt you, how do you forgive that? How do you sometimes it's harder, it's easier said than done. You know what I'm saying? Like I can forgive and it's easier said than done.
Right.
Really. So
yeah, it is. Depending on who it is, what the situation and everything is and who it is. My mom always told me, she was like, you can forgive someone, but you'll never forget, what they did to you and everything, but you can forgive and everything. But it, always be in the back of your mind, like, hey, what they did, you can forgive, but you don't forget, you move on. Sometimes, it's not always easy to forgive, but you forgive, but people who you really care about and everything, and who you love and everything. I don't know. Maybe
what's so crazy is like, I think when you don't forgive people, it gives them power. It's like I'm giving you the power to make me miserable because I haven't forgiven you. Like the guy said, every time you think of the pain, you have to forgive them again and
Right.
forgive 'em again, because the pain may be the wound
Right.
might be so deep to the point
Right.
where you don't even know what, you know what I'm saying? Like you really got to pray some stuff, but you got to pray some stuff away sometime and just be like, God, just, take this from me, because I don't even know what to do with it. Like I don't know
Right.
what to do with this hurt or this pain or this
Right.
feeling. You know what I mean?
Like forgiveness is not for the other person, it's for you.
Yourself.
It's
It's
for
for
you.
yourself.
So
Because if you don't, you'll just be walking around very bitter and very
right.
hurt about a lot of
Right.
stuff that happens in
Right.
life. One of the questions, have you ever forgiven someone but still decided not to let them back into your life?
Have I ever forgiven someone but still decided
But
not to let them back in my life?
right, you forgave them, but you just don't want them back in your life anymore.
I
Take
think
some
that the
time.
thing is, hey, um, for me, mm, yeah, I yeah, I've forgiven someone, but not decided to let them back in my life. Absolutely, I have. Because I moved on. I don't want to hold on to that pain anymore and everything. And you still don't have access. You still don't have access to come in my life because I haven't forgot what you did. But I did. But I haven't forgot what you did. But I do forgive. But it's just. But when you're at a different place in your life, when you're not in that same place in your life anymore, and you want to move on, you don't want to deal with all the foolishness. You move on. And that's sometimes it just be like that. Sometimes like you're not in that place anymore, so you don't want to have to. You're not in that place, and you don't want to give them back the same access that they have, so they could keep on hurting you.
Yeah, but why do you think, if you pass them by, or you pass them by in the street, would
Hmm.
you would you speak, or would it be like, I've let you out and I don't want to even have conversation?
I'll be grown enough to speak to you, but is it gonna be like how it was? No.
It was what's crazy to me when it comes to forgiving. Like I feel like in my life it's been a roller coaster for so long. Like
Hmm.
I've been on a roller coaster for a long time.
Hmm.
And y'all have to forgive me on this podcast today, because this is an emotional topic for me.
Yes, it is.
Um
Me as well.
when you when when sometimes the hurt is so big
Hmm.
that you can't even understand it or comprehend it.
Hmm.
Like that lady said, the only thing you can give it to is God. Because
Right.
if you don't, you'll just walk around hurt and broken.
Right.
With the things that I feel like that I've been through in my life, and
Mhm.
the people that have caused some of my pain, and that a lot of the times I sit and I might ask myself why, and what was the gain, or
Mhm.
what did you get out of it when you did it? Was it good? Did it make you feel any kind of
Right.
better? I don't know. I don't understand some of that stuff,
Right.
because I know, like, when I feel like I've hurt somebody,
Hmm.
I am so fast to call and apologize, or just say, hey, that ain't
Right.
come out right. I didn't mean it how I said it. You
Right.
know, it didn't. The picture wasn't cute. Because
Right.
I hurt when I feel like I hurt
Right.
somebody.
Right.
But
Absolutely.
I don't know how. I don't understand how people sleep at night
Yeah.
with themselves, knowing that you might have hurt somebody's feelings, or
Right.
broken somebody, or made somebody, or did somebody. Because you look at, like, the girl that went out of town and her best friends just beat her up, and she didn't
Hmm.
go down there thinking she was gonna die.
Right.
She didn't go down there thinking she wasn't gonna make it out. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? She went there thinking, I'm going with my friends. They got my back. We finna have fun. When the whole time they hated her. They hated her. And she
Right.
probably was forgiving. You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
You don't know how, like, I think about the domestic situations that I've been in my life, and forgiving the people that caused me a lot of pain. But I do know, and I understand what it means when they say you have to constantly keep forgiving,
Right.
because you'll constantly have this moment where you're choking all the time, where you
Hmm.
where you sit back with yourself and you go, damn,
Right.
why that happened? You know what I'm saying? Like, why that happened?
Absolutely.
again, and
Right.
what did I do to deserve this again? And
Right.
then you forgive again.
Right.
And then the same behavior happens again, and you
Again.
forgive again. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And you keep forgiving.
Hmm.
But
Absolutely.
doesn't make it any, it doesn't make the hurt any less.
Any less.
You're trying to be like God, and you're trying to say, if he forgives me for the things I do, this
Hmm.
is what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed
Right.
to be forgiven, so let me
Right.
forgive. But
Right.
when does it, when do you say I don't want to do it no more? Do you
Right.
ever say I'm tired of being the one forgiving people?
Yeah, I feel you on that one completely because I feel the same exact way. Like, we have a bit of a similar history when it comes to the abuse and everything, the situations and stuff like that. But so I definitely feel you when you say like you always have to be the one to be so forgiving and people keep apologizing and stuff like that. And it's just, it gets exhausting and it gets emotionally draining mentally, and it does something to your mental and everything. And you just get tired and you don't know what to do. But yeah,
It's
that's why
draining.
it is very draining. But
Draining.
I do know that what I can say is that I'm tired of giving access to foolishness in my life. And what I won't continue to do is keep on giving people access to come in my life, hurt me,
Yeah.
and especially when I don't mean no hurt or harm to anyone. I don't mean no hurt or harm to anyone that I do,
Right.
and when I'm like you. I don't like it. I always, when I get into it with friends, family and everything, sometimes it take a minute for me to think about it, process, what happened, what I do on my end. It's like what I told you yesterday. I said, a lot of my family, like my family don't apologize to me. Like I don't really get an apology in everything. And I'm even in, I always have to end up, I always find myself having to be the bigger one to apologize,
Yeah.
even for things that I
That
don't
you don't, as you
even
know,
do
you ain't did nothing wrong.
wrong.
You're like,
But because I just
what
want,
can I do to get this?
but
Yeah.
because I just want the situation to be over, then hey, it is what it is. But I'm
Because
learning that.
you want it behind you. You
Right,
just don't want to have to deal with it. It's like
right. I
I
don't.
say
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
exactly.
you get past it.
Life is hard enough as is, and everything and stuff like that, and we ain't got time to be, arguing and fussing and fighting and stuff like that. And it's just a lot. This world is evil. A lot of it's not a lot of like it's not enough nice people in this world now.
Girl.
And I don't. And then to be arguing with people who you're supposed to be who love you and
Mhm.
friends. I don't have time for that anymore. So
Mike said, speaking terms afterwards for me would be based upon what it is that I have forgive a person for. Good afternoon, Denise. And Unc said, I always forgive myself for allowing some things to happen.
right,
It's forgiveness is something I think that we have to work on daily. You
right,
think I think I know with my last situation, the one that the guy that was abusing me before,
right,
and we're friends now. We're fine now,
right,
because we've gotten past it. But I just remember years, just years and years and years of just being bitter, just being
right,
angry, being mad, you know, I mean, really mad to the point where I felt like I couldn't move forward because I was so angry. Like I had
right,
all this animosity and pain that I was just like, and the only way that I could deal with the pain is to just be angry. So
right,
I was mad. But then I remember, I went to counseling. I did. I had to go to counseling because the situation had me shook real bad.
right,
So, and I had a nervous breakdown over that situation as well. Um, but it took a lot out of my life, you know what I'm saying, to have to heal internally, heal outwardly to the world, because the world looks at you as they look at you, right?
right,
I'm healing internally. I'm trying to be who I am to the world, but I'm broken and I'm unforgiving and I'm angry.
right.
And the anger was what I had to get over.
Mm-hmm.
The only way that I knew how to get over it, I like almost like screaming out loud and just saying, God, like what, how you have to help me on this one, because I'm not going to be, I can't be good at this. I'm not
Right,
good at this part right here.
Right.
It wasn't that I wanted to see any harm done to this man. I didn't want, but was nothing like that. I just hated him for the things that he did.
Yeah, right. That's exactly how I. That's
Right.
exactly how I felt.
And if I even oh God, forgive me. Even when I think of
Yeah, I had to take a minute too. It's okay because it is very emotional.
It's a hard topic.
It's very emotional, and I found myself even having to suck back up my tears as well. Because
I'm sorry, Show. This is a hard topic for me.
Yes.
Forgiveness and me run hand in glove, and
Right.
I feel like I'm constantly doing it. So,
Right.
yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
This one is a lot.
It's okay it's okay if you need to take a minute to get yourself together. Then we can. We're human, and we've been through a lot in our lives and everything, and it's not an easy topic at all. So
it's something you work on, and I think if people understood
right
half the pain that they cause you,
right,
they would probably just stop.
Right.
But they don't know the pain that it causes, and I don't think they understand how hard it is every day to be forgiving and just say, I'm going to keep forgiving you, and I'm going to keep forgiving you because the person that I am and the Father that I believe in and the way that I walk in my life and the things that I want to stop. But it's hard. It's a daily, every single day. It is. Trust me, it is.
Right.
So yeah, this one.
And with everything, it definitely it hits home sometimes. So I definitely get it.
So why do you think we have to make peace? Like, why? Why do you think we have to just be at peace with certain things?
Why do I think we have to be at peace with certain things? So you're asking me about healing, pretty much.
Yeah.
Because I think healing, I mean, you heal because you want to feel whole again. I want to feel whole again, emotionally, spiritually, physically, mentally. I don't want to hold all that stuff on me, that's why I want to heal and I want to get out. I don't want to hold on to any. I don't want to hold all that weight on me.
Right.
And stuff like that I've been through. So that's why I think heal is important. And I'm going to just go to some of the comments. Ankh said, question, have you ever shown gratitude for things that happened that has actually made you stronger?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I show gratitude for everything.
Right.
Everything that's in my life. I think I show gratitude for it every day.
Right. Even when shit is not going the best, I try to see
gratitude. You have to.
Yeah.
You have to.
Good evening, Aaron.
Okay, Aaron.
You have to forgive so you let go of the control that the person has over you. And I get it. It's not always easy, but you're right. I don't want anybody to have that control, have the power over me.
Yeah.
So you're right. That's why I said I do forgive what has been done to me, but you won't.
It doesn't make the pain any less, though.
It's not gonna make the pain any less. But you don't have any more access in my life. PTSD is the monster that craves existence within our minds after the abusive event.
Yeah. You're right about that.
You're right about that one.
You
completely
are
right.
You close chapters, chapters, and you close chapters, and you close chapters, and then you think you get to a place in your life where you're just like, you expect people to just be good people, right?
Right.
That's what you feel. People are supposed to just be, but everybody don't dance to that rhythm,
Yeah, and I'm just so tired. I understand everybody is not meant to stay in your life for forever. I get it, but I think for me, I'm so tired of dealing with people coming in my life and I let you in, I let my guard, when I finally decide to let my guard down and everything. Because for me, I have an issue with trusting people. I
Mhm.
do. And that's
Mhm.
why, and I have my guard up. I don't like it's because of everything that I've been through in my life, everything, you've been through in yours. I have an issue with trusting people because it always leads to me getting hurt down
Right.
the line. So I'm just tired of giving people chances after chances after chances after chances just for me to have to fucking cut you off because you done did something. And
But
I,
when do
I
you say when do you say, "It's enough," "It's enough now." I've when do you just say, "It's enough," like, you win, it's yours, have it your way, you got it. When you finally say that and it still don't stop, you see what I'm saying? Like, there's people that just if the life ain't out of you, they continue, and they continue, and they continue, and they continue if they can't suck all the life out of you. You see what I'm saying? Like, and that's where I think where hate and all this stuff comes into play because I think people don't realize the bigger picture
right,
of the damage you done. You see what I'm saying? And even though I might say I forgive you and I can sit down next to you and I can say, hey, it's okay. It was a time in your life that we did this and we crossed paths and this is what happened.
right,
It doesn't mean the pain was any less. It doesn't mean when I look at you, I don't still see the hurt. It just means that I've gone on past it because I have no choice. I ain't got no choice.
right,
You didn't give me one.
right.
So yeah, it's a lot.
It's a
It's a lot.
lot.
It's a
It
lot.
is. When you get sick, and tired of being sick and tired, then that's enough. As my mom used to say, I mean, yeah, you're right. When you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, that's enough. But
Yeah.
then something just be something in us that be wanting to give these people all these chances.
How do you stop yourself though from opening the old wounds? Like how do you stop replaying it in your head? Does it ever stop replaying in your head?
No, no,
That's the part that I think people don't understand.
right.
When you cause somebody hurt, you don't we get over it because we're supposed to
We're supposed
and we
to.
have to.
Mhm.
But when you sit with yourself and you think about it and you think of your life and you sit down and you think and you go, what did I do to deserve that?
Right,
Or what did I deserve? What, I'm saying? Like, and I always go back when I think of things that happened in my life, I think about, did I do somebody really bad a long time ago? And this is my karma, or this is
right,
my, or this is, and it was a pastor that told me, don't think like that. Stop thinking like that.
right,
Because when you ask for forgiveness and you forgive and you move on, right? That's what you're supposed to do.
right.
But sometimes it's not that easy.
It's not.
Sometimes it's not that easy. It's not
No,
as easy as people make it seem like it's just water under the bridge. Yeah, I hurt your feelings and I broke your heart, but it's okay.
it's okay.
And you don't want to be this person walking around with all these walls,
Right,
but sometimes you put your guards up because of all the things that have been toxic and all the things that have come from everybody from every angle, and you're just trying to balance and you're just trying to just live your life the best way you know how, but it's always something because the devil is always busy. He never stops. He doesn't rest. He don't sleep.
you know.
That's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah. I tell you what.
I tell you,
Who do you think? Who do you think in your life that you forgive the most?
hmm. Whew. Who do I forgive the most? My mom. Now, currently, presently, I think. Who do you forgive the most?
Oh God. I think my family as a whole. just my entire family. And I have to constantly forgive in my mind and in my head, because sometimes it's not that simple. It's not so cut and dry. Like I said,
Right.
sometimes the wounds are deep,
Yes,
and
they were.
the cut is deep, and all you can do is cry,
Right.
because it doesn't stop.
Right.
You love, and when I say my family, I mean my entire family.
Yeah.
Not, I mean all of them, every single one of every person in my family. Like I think about, you know, I think of the many lies that may have been told about me. I think of the hurt when I had my kids. I think of, you know, I was having one baby was sleeping in the hallway when
Right.
I gave birth to one baby. I think about, you know, where was anybody when I was crying out? I think of, you know, family members calling me names. Maybe I've earned some. I don't know, but I've been called all of them. That's for sure. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
I'm just gonna speak frankly and real for just a minute. I ain't gonna lie. I got this one sibling that hurts me more than anything. I mean, she cuts me so deep with the words that she says and everything. She has done a lot of stuff. She just me and her can't get it together for nothing. I mean, she be cutting me deep. She will do anything she can, say anything she can to hurt me and everything. And then I explode. Then I'm trying to go back and hurt. I'm trying to hurt her as much and everything, but she always wants to. We have these big blowouts. I mean, these big arguments, blowouts, just going at each other. But she coming at me, but then I feel like I have to defend myself, and she
Mhm.
comes at me and everything. And I'm not gonna lie, I haven't forgiven her. I feel like the respect it's not there. It's not there.
Mhm.
And
But you have to, though.
I know I have to, but I'm trying to do, I know it's the Christian thing to do and everything, but
You have to. You
it's
have to.
just, it's hard. And I'm trying. That's the one thing I'm struggling with that. And it's hard. It's hard
Mhm.
because we're, that's my blood, but it's hard for me. And I struggle with that every day. And
Yeah, that's what I say. I think for many people, not just us, many people that have watched this after,
right,
you know, I think forgiveness is hard for a lot of people. Yeah,
right,
I think we want to sometime, and we want to say, it didn't hurt as bad as I thought it did, or no one knows the mental stuff the toll it takes on you. You know what I'm saying? Like the toll it takes on you all the time.
right,
It's the constant hits, the constant blows. And I'm not talking about physical hits. I'm talking about the constant hits to life
right,
that you endure. It's almost like you're being married to somebody and they hurt you every day, but they tell you they love you every hour.
right,
But you're hurting me every day. And every day, every time you do it, you say you're sorry.
right,
I forgive you. And we do the dance all over again.
right,
And then you come back again and you call me another name. And then I
right,
forgive you for that name.
right.
So that's why I asked the question, like, when do you just say, I don't want to forgive no more? I won't. And does it tie up your life?
I'm just tired of I'm just tired of being hurt. I'm tired of, people hurting me and everything, and thinking that it's okay to hurt, and then thinking that they could just come back in your life and then just be the same and everything. I think that's what I get tired of. That's, stuff like that. But Aaron said, my own brother slept with my wife, and that hurt so painful. It was 30 years ago, and I have forgiven him, but I will never forget. I understand how you ladies feel.
That's deep.
Yeah, it's really deep. It's really deep.
But this is the subject that people don't like to talk about,
Right,
because you can't I can't come on here and just sit here and go, oh, I've never forgiven nobody. I'm sure I've hurt people, I'm
Right.
sure I have. You know what I'm saying? I take accountability if I
Right.
have. You
Right.
know, I'm sure there's people in my life that I have hurt a lot, really bad. You
Right.
know, but then, and they may not deal with me. They may never deal with me. You see what I'm saying? And some have walked away. I don't know. I'm sure I hurt people in high school. I'm sure I hurt people in mid, I'm saying, I'm sure I hurt my parents a couple of times.
Right.
I'm sure I have. I'm sure I did a whole lot of stuff wrong in my life.
Right.
At what point do you stop paying the price?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? At what point do you stop beating yourself down and saying, I've done this, but I've forgiven myself for it. And I think that's the bigger picture, like
Yeah.
forgiving yourself and then forgiving and just say, it is what it is. There's nothing else I can do. I
Right.
can't do no more with this.
Right.
No, I can't.
I can own up to that as well. I can be grown enough to say I've hurt some people along the way and everything. You don't never mean to hurt anybody or ever disappoint anybody. I don't mean to, but I have and everything. I know I've hurt some people along the way, but I think sometimes what goes on, I think people, I've forgiven myself. People don't think, you're allowed to forgive and move on with your life. They want you to stay down and want to keep you down and want you to remember, want you to have to remember what you did and stuff like that. And I'm allowed to forgive and I'm allowed to move on with my life. And I know I've disappointed my mom, probably my family and stuff like that. I know I've hurt people, but I try to make up and I try to be a good person now and move on, make up for the things that I have done.
Mm-hmm.
And all I can do is all we can do is pray about it.
Try to be
better and try to be better, ask God for forgiveness and try to be better people. And that's what I've done. That's what I do.
I think about my transgender child. For years of my life, and I mean years, and this goes back from probably the time my child was probably 2. Just knowing that he was different and knowing that he did not like being a boy and the resentment that I had, and then trying to please my family and act like I found myself trying to be the hard mother to be what everybody expected me to be. Like, this is wrong. He's not supposed to do this. He's not supposed to want to be a girl. You've done something wrong as a mom. You the blame, you're the cause, you're the reason. And I never looked at my own child's pain and hurt that I was putting my own child through. And for years and years of my child's life, I was so mean. I was so mean to my kid because he was different. And it wasn't that I hated my kid. It was that I was trying to please everybody around me. Every man that walked in my life hated my kid. Every family member that didn't like him because he dressed like a girl. Everybody that cast him out. Everybody that still casts him out. And then I'm sitting here going, but this is my child. Right. You know what I'm saying? But this is my child. Right. And I said some mean things. Like, I remember telling my child, I wish you was never born. Like, I wish I could erase you from my whole world, your whole being. Just everything about you. Those are the things when I think about saying forgive, that I have to forgive myself for. But then I think about, has my child forgiven me?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because my child say, Ma, you hurt me a lot. Mm-hmm. And then I try to relate, but I get so angry because I'm like, look, I'm trying. But nobody knows what that walk feels like. But what I had to come to the conclusion was, fuck everybody that didn't like my kid.
Right.
Because it didn't matter at no point. Because at the end of the day, I fight for mine and I fight for what's mine. And I had to get that mentality because it was like, no other man's going to walk in here and tell me what my child's not going to be. Nobody's coming in my life that I have no room for it no more. Right. If you don't like what I bring, if you don't like who's around me, then I ain't the woman for you.
Right.
So a lot of times I have to factor in all that when I'm dealing with people. I got to think of, okay, what they gonna want me to do? What hoops I gotta jump out of? What my child can't come in the door doing? Even from the last relationship that I just got, it was the same thing. My child was always uncomfortable, and I never knew what that uncomfortable felt like. But me trying to be the mediator between being the woman of the house and the mother of the child, and then trying to forgive both and balance it all, that shit ain't easy. Did I tell you? That ain't easy. It's a different kind of hurt. It's a different kind of pain. And yet I still I still forgive people. And I say, yeah, you might have didn't, you might have don't. Nobody talks to my kid. Nobody. Not a soul, not a single person talks to my child.
That's sad.
And that's sad.
And
And
that's
they don't know. They don't
right.
know her pain. They don't
Right.
know the tears she cries every
Right.
night.
And I was about to say, I can
Oh,
only imagine how she
oh.
feels.
You see what I'm saying? And then she forgives and she said, Mom, it's okay. I forgive them.
Right.
They don't know. This is, they don't know. Who the hell gives anybody the room to judge and cast the stone and throw the stone? Who on any podcast show out in the real world ain't did something sinful? Just because somebody's gay, hey, you might be gay, you might be an adulteress, you might be a cheater, you might be a liar, you might be drinking. It's all sin, and it's all the same fucking thing at the end of the day.
Right.
But we don't look at it like that. We pick and choose.
No, don't we pick and choose?
We make it right in our minds, But she says, I forgive people because it is what it is, Ma. As long as I got you, we good.
Right. I know that's right. Amen to that.
So
God, He forgave us for all our sins.
All of our sins.
All of our sins.
And in life, I had to forgive myself. I had to forgive me for being the mother that I should have been. My job was to protect. I did not protect my child because I couldn't get past what everybody was saying. I allowed myself to hear the world and forgot that I had a kid that needed me to be the mother. So yeah, that's always heavy, It's always heavy. Yeah. But that forgiveness, that wound, that thing you take off that Band-Aid and you look at it and go, oh, that stung. Oh, that's a little bit. That's a little hard. And it's a reminder because my kid tells me all the time sometimes. Right. She's like, Ma, you didn't protect me. That's a lot to hear from your kid.
Yes.
And then she says, I forgive you, though.
Right.
But it doesn't make the wound any less.
Any less.
It does not.
Well, I pray, and I pray. I know you guys are pretty on the progress, or on really good progress now. And then I know sometimes old wounds can sting and everything, but I know you guys will be okay, and I know you guys will be fine and everything. So I know that.
Yep.
Aaron said, I had to forgive him for me to have peace. I didn't want to carry that pain into my future anymore, and I wanted to be free of hate and ugliness.
Yeah.
I understand that.
Hey, Valon.
Oh, this is like I said, this is really heavy to talk about it because it's a reminder of so much things that you have went through down the line. I tell you, I've been, I can see the hurt all over your face.
Yeah, it's hard.
It is hard. We both have been through so much, and then it's hard. I ain't gonna lie, it's hard being strong. Being strong isn't always easy and everything.
It ain't, because baby,
it's being strong is not always easy, and I have to be strong a lot of the time. Even when some days I just want to break down and cry, I just want to say fuck everything and fuck everybody.
Yeah, you get there, right?
I do get it. You get there a lot, and me, sometimes I wear it all on my face.
Because you ask yourself sometimes, like, when you're forgiving people and you make and life goes on and everything goes on, you have to ask yourself, do they ever hurt? Right. Do they ever hurt?
Right.
Or do they just be like, whatever? You know what I'm saying? Do they ever hurt the people that hurt you? Do they ever hurt?
And I be thinking like, damn, what did I do to you to deserve this? And do you feel any type of remorse? Or are you sorry, or are you about anything? I do think about that very often. Valon said, forgiveness sets the captive free, ladies. It's for who have been trespassed against.
Yeah, that's true. So let me ask you, do you think that there's closure, that you need closure? Or do you think when somebody hurts you, it should be a conversation? Like, do you think the other person should know that they hurt you, or just you don't need the closure at all?
Oh, sometimes I definitely look for closure, but I don't always get the closure that I'm looking for. It's like I told you, I was telling you the other day and everything. I have this friend, and this really, really close friend. We've been friends for over a whole decade. Something so small, something petty, and we're not talking. And it hurts me because she really hurt my feelings. She really hurt my feelings.
Mhm.
Really hurt my feelings. I wanted to move on, set things straight. And for months, I said, I'm not going to talk to her. I'm not talking to her. She's not talking to me. I'm not talking to her. But then I picked up the phone. I texted. I said, back in August, I said, let me extend the olive branch.
Mhm.
Of course, I extended the olive branch. Nothing. But she really hurt my feelings. She really hurt my feelings. And
And she probably doesn't feel like she did. You see what I'm
she
saying?
probably don't feel like she did anything wrong. I'm sure she doesn't think she did anything wrong. There was no accountability taken. I expressed how I felt, and I don't have any closure. I don't even know if we're even going to be friends again. But it's hard. So I do be wanting I do be wanting to be like, let me have some closure. If we're not going to be cool no more, at least I need to know why we're not going to be cool no more. But I don't always get that.
But sometimes, you know, if the person doesn't feel like they've done anything to hurt you,
Right.
then they don't see why. You see what I'm saying? Like whatever she did, maybe she don't feel like she hurt you. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Like that's the bigger thing. That's why I said reflection. Like you have to think about it from so many angles. Like when somebody hurts me, I have to say, okay, did I do something that made that person hurt me like that? But then you think of when you go to the person and you're talking about it and you're trying to get the answers, or you're coming and you're saying, hey, I did this, and did this hurt you? Or did you let me know when I was doing it that it was hurting you? That's the bigger thing, because sometimes you might do something not even realizing you're hurting somebody
Right.
until they open their mouth and say that shit hurt. You see what I'm saying? Then you have the option to say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it that way, or I'm sorry, that's not how it was supposed to go, or I'm sorry, that's not how it was supposed to be. That's something that's different. But if somebody never knows, like, or then and there's just, and then there in life, Leah, there's people that don't never be accountable if they hurt you or not. They just don't. They don't never see nothing they do as being wrong.
Never seen nothing they do being wrong, and that's the sad part about
Yeah,
it.
it would
That's the
be.
sad part is when you can't take accountability, when you can't even
You can't look at yourself. You can't. Some
look at
people can't start
yourself.
with themselves. Yeah, because there's people in the world that are just broken people, and there's people in the world that's hurt. So hurt people, right? And don't even know they're doing it. It's like a man that has a problem and he's beating you all the time. He might not think that's hurting you, because in his mind it could be mental. You know what I'm saying? It could be a mental thing. It could be a mental breakdown. So that could be, you know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, he might feel like I ain't hurt her. I ain't
Right.
do nothing to her. Because some men don't see that being abusive is wrong. And it's not just somebody hitting you upside your head with something. Verbal abuse is just as powerful as physical abuse.
Physical abuse.
You can emotionally, verbally traumatize a child by your words.
By your words.
So it doesn't, every time somebody says, oh, this happened, it's not about somebody punching you or knocking you upside the head. You could call me stupid every day, and that could hurt me every day. And you could apologize and then turn right back around and do it again.
Right.
Because some people have too much access to you.
Right.
So overcoming it, that's the thing. How do you overcome it? What do you do different? How do you move? How do you move different now?
I've learned to, that's the thing. How do I overcome it? Now that's the thing. Like when I say, like, I have my guard up when it comes to people and letting certain people in and everything, and trusting it's very hard. It's very hard.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And it's
It's not easy.
sometimes I think that even the people who, are probably good. I'm like, nah, I don't want to give anybody any more room to hurt me.
So you put up these walls, right? And then people say you're bitter. Like, she's bitter. She don't like nobody. She's just bitter, a bitter person. And I don't think having boundaries and guards, I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Right.
You know, people ask me now, why are you single? Why you want to be single? Like, what's wrong with you? It's something, there's nothing wrong with me.
Right.
Nothing at all. I'm just in a happy space that I don't want to give nobody access to right now. That's all. Because I don't want to have to deal with the knowing, not knowing, what hurt may come later, what's not. I don't want to have to deal with that right now. So I don't. I choose not to. It's not because I'm closed off like a board. No, I just sit there and go, you know what? I'm going to watch a little longer. I'm going to sit back a little longer. I'm going to pay attention a little longer, because before maybe I moved too fast. You move off feeling and emotion, right? And then you jump off into something, and then it's not what you expected it's supposed to be. And then that hurt. And the person that hurt you don't even realize they hurt you. You see what I'm saying? So instead of me doing that, I'm like, no, I could be a little reserved. I got time. I ain't in no hurry.
Right. And then give me
not access to me. So I'm accessible.
Right. And then give me 1 second. I'm so sorry.
So this is Valon said, amen. Stormy Hearts, yes, indeed. Verbal abuse cuts like a knife. Verbal abuse is something big. It's something that hurts, you know. It's something that hurts. You know, you hear when you're saying when you're a kid and your parents are giving you a spanking and they're like whooping you and they're talking to you as they're whooping you. I used to hate that growing up. Like, I used to hate hearing my mom talk to me while she gave me a spanking. I would rather you just hit me and don't say nothing, because now I got to ring the volumes in my head of why you're whooping me. And I remember my mom used to apologize. She used to be like, I have to whoop you because you did something. And I'm sorry that I did it, but I had to do it, you know. And you hear those things in your life. But forgiveness is big. It's a big thing. It's a big part. It plays a big part in people's lives. It's something that we work on daily, every day. It doesn't mean we're perfect people. We're not trying to be perfect people. It's about how you go past it. It's about how you move on past it. It's about what you allow people to come in your space and do again. You won't go back to somebody that you think gonna hit you again. You're just not going to. You forgive the person, you go on. You're not going to go back to the person that was verbally abusive to you. You forgive them and you move on again. You forgive your kids for the things they might pull you through, drag you through. You forgive your family, the people around you, forgive your friends. You forgive because you have to. If you don't forgive, you're just stifling yourself. You're stifling your spirit. But once again, forgiving does not mean that I'm going to give you the room to hurt me one more time. You see what I'm saying? You can forgive and you can sit down and you can laugh. You know, like I said before, the man that used to hit on me, I'm his friend. Love him to death. But it's no access to me. It can't be a situation where we're reconnecting. The pain was too deep. The wound was too deep. It was too big. So I take that pain and I go, you know what? I love him. I care about him. He's a good person. He's not a bad person. He is healed and he is whole. What I have done is I forgive him just to set my own soul free. Because you have to. You have to forgive people just to set your own mind free, to be a better person, to be better in the things you do, for growth, for movement. You can't harbor all that inside of you, because it's toxic and it makes you toxic. And then it starts reflecting on you as you being this person who's unforgiving and toxic.
Right.
Don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to yourself. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. But it says, how do you explain your boundaries to people who don't understand them, the boundaries that you've now put up in your life?
Boundaries that I now put up in my life.
Mm-hmm.
I tell people I'm very direct and I'm very open. I tell people, you know, straight up, I give you enough rope to hang yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I give you enough rope to hang yourself. I don't have any time in my life for any foolishness and everything. I've been through so much. I'm very direct. I've been through so much and everything. So I don't have time for you to keep on, for you to come. I'm grown. I don't want to play games. If you got something, if you have a problem with me, please come to me. If I say anything, say anything upset or hurt your feelings, if I come straight up to me, let's talk about it. Let's have a conversation. I apologize. I don't mind being grown enough to apologize if I need to apologize.
Right.
Let's talk it out and let's work it out. But I'm not doing I'm not doing any foolishness. I'm not doing any foolishness and everything. All that, all that. I'm too grown for the childishness and the foolishness. And like I said, I'm removing all access to foolishness in my life.
Yeah, and you have
to. If you come with that, you have no room. I can't make any room for you here.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I've learned being on this spiritual journey that I'm on right now. Just, just doing things differently and just trying to be the best version of myself that I can. And, you have to come to a place in your life where you spend a lot of time with yourself and you learn how to love yourself in your own space where you don't even have to need someone in it because you love yourself more in the space that you're in. And I think that's the difference with me now versus me then, is I don't need anybody around me. I'm okay being by myself. I'm okay in my own space. I'm okay if nobody ever talks to me. I'm going to be fine. You see what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I came here out of my mother's womb by myself. I'm going to go out by myself. You see what I'm saying? I'm going to die alone. Anybody going with me? When I get in that coffin, guess what? I'm going in there by myself.
Right.
So
absolutely. Valon said, yes, one of our parents' words was, this going to hurt me more than it hurts you, and feeling the licks from the belt.
Oh, my mom said that all the time, Valon. She used to say that every time she popped my behind, she would say that. It was the constant lick. The thing that you hear the most of, it's a lot. It's a lot. You gotta, we gotta be forgiving people. That's what the Bible says. And, don't harbor it in your spirit. If someone's done something to you and wrongs you, tell them. You have the right to say, you hurt me too. You see what I'm saying? Like, you hurt me, I hurt you. It may go that way. You don't know. If you're carrying something that you feel is heavy, let it go. You forgive and you let it go, and you give it to God, because He's the only one that can move the mountain anyway. And remove it from your life. And you don't wish nobody no bad, because it ain't gonna get you nowhere. They don't get you no good wishing people bad. So don't do that either.
Saying all you're gonna do is block your blessings.
Your own blessings. Don't wish nobody no bad or no harm or no bad intention. Even if they're wishing you bad intention, don't do it, because it's not worth it. It's just not worth it at the end of the day.
It's really not.
And you move on.
Milan
said, Clayton said, what's the topic? The topic is,
doesn't mean reconnecting. Why forgiveness doesn't always include access.
Being forgiven, like forgiving people when they've hurt you,
and then learning how to heal from it.
Yeah. But yeah, that's just some of the things. And I think for me now, I'm in a great space in my life. I'm in a happy place in my life where everything is calm. Every day has its journey. Every day is a challenge. Yes. And every day I'm learning something different about myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I allow myself grace, and I allow myself to say, it's okay. It's not that bad. I allow that, and I allow that room. And I just try to think with a different mindset. I don't try to, whatever is negative, I try to put, as soon as it comes in, I try to let it, I release it back to the universe. I don't want it. I don't want it here. I don't want it dwelling in my living room. I don't want anything.
Same here with me too. Yeah, I'm definitely happier and everything in my life now. And I definitely, I don't have no room for foolishness, no time for negativity and everything. I try, even like I said, even on the bad days, I try my best to see the good
in everything.
Because I could, I woke up, the way I look at it, I woke up this morning. And I couldn't. It's a lot of people who didn't
wake up this morning. Absolutely.
So I try to be grateful for that God is giving me, that God is keeping me here and everything. And I try to, I strengthen my relationship with God. I pray to Him every morning and everything. And that's what gets me through the tough times and everything. And that's what allows me to be healing and forgive people. But this was it was a topic that hit home, but I'm glad we got to talk about it and everything, and even share some personal experiences and everything. And I hope that the audience and everything, they were able to see a little bit of us and our authenticity. And
because it ain't always fun, y'all.
it's not.
Sometimes you got to talk about the things that we don't talk about, and sometimes you have to say the things that no one says. And if you're at a place in your life and you have people in your life that you haven't forgiven, or they've wronged you, and you feel like you have to have a conversation, have the conversation, extend the olive branch, and see how that works out. You know what I'm saying? Don't walk around harboring hate and malice and envy and make it pile this big mountain up over you, because that's all it does. That energy just keeps growing and growing and festering and growing within you until it makes you toxic. So sit down, especially if it's somebody that you love, sit down and have the conversation with them. And if it is what it is, it is what it is. But at least you've tried. And as long as you've done your part, you free yourself from it and you just leave it alone.
And Valon said, like the old gospel song says, I won't complain. A powerful word. Amen to that.
Amen to that.
Well, lovely people, we have come up on our hour here on Unfiltered at 5 with Shelly Live and Leah Nicole. We thank you so much for being here with us. Like we said, y'all could be anywhere in the world at 5 p.m., but our day ones, they rock with us right here and everything. We laugh, love, cry. We do everything. Nothing is off limits here.
It's a safe haven. It's a safe haven. It's a safe place to be.
Absolutely. So go love on somebody. Go forgive someone. Don't let all that. Don't hold on. Just release it and everything.
Hey, Clayton, before we end it, let me see. Clayton said something. I want to read it because he popped it up and he looked like he took a long time to type that. He said that is a serious one, and you have to forgive people that do you wrong and just move on. And you have to know yourself and don't make the same mistakes over and over again. That is factual. You do. And that is true, Clayton. You have to move on past it and push past the pain. That's what I always say.
Absolutely. And we love you, Valon. We appreciate you. But this is Unfiltered at 5 with Shelly Live and Leah Nicole. We are out for today, y'all. Bye. Love you.
Tune in tomorrow. And y'all go subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Yes.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Girls, let's talk about it. Did you hear them talking about it? Oh my God, do you know this? Oh my God, it's Shelly Live and Leah Nicole. Shelly Live and Leah Nicole on a roll. Lighting up the stream, the vibe is full. Shelly Live and Leah Nicole, let's go. Kicking down doors, we make some noise. Grown folks talk with truth and voice. Doing it big, turning up the flow. Shelly Live and Leah Nicole, you know. Oh yeah, it's Shelly Live and Leah Nicole.